Welcome to Nimble Minds Talks of Self and Spirituality, where we talk about different spiritual concepts as well as different philosophies. So, previously, I just had the video where I described the story of Esu-Elegba, the divine messenger, the trickster, and the story with the brothers who one saw a white face, one saw a red face. And, he's trying to teach a lesson, and they end up arguing, and they learn their lesson. This video, we're going to focus on the power of choice. And why choice? Esu, this is one of the things that Esu is teaching in this. Not only is Esu teaching this, but nature teaches this, all right? Spiritual channel, spirituality. There's always a choice. And that's something I've always talked about, even before reading this, which is actually really cool, because I found this, I'm reading this, and it says, spiritual transformations always contain an element of choice, an element of free will, and an element of responsibility. Those who are unwilling to embrace these qualities project their weaknesses onto the world and claim that Esu is a demon, okay? And let's take this out. Let's zoom out, okay? Let's click that minus button real quick and zoom out. Let's not just keep it here at Esu. Esu teaches us a lot. Let's broaden this to the world. What can that mean when people are going to start looking at Esu? Now we're going to zoom out at choice as a demon, okay? Because it can be, right? Maybe you have too many choices, all right? If that's even too many choices, right? The truth is, there will always be a choice between good, bad, right, wrong, and your conscience. It even teaches it in this book. There's always a choice. So what does that mean? Choice, choice, choice. Only you know what that means for you and the choices you're making within your life. But let's talk about growth spiritually. You have to be the person that makes the choice and says, you know what? Let's go. I'm ready to learn, I'm ready to grow, and I'm going to take these necessary steps, trusting in God to guide me and learn these things. It's up to you. Nobody's forcing you, nobody's stopping you, and nobody's telling you to go. It's you. Do you want to? Okay? And that is one of the very powerful messages. A choice, the transformation is in the choice. Okay? People who are on the internet, and even if you're not on the internet, people who live in communities, there's probably still communities out there that don't have internet like that. And it's not a bad thing. It's probably a good thing, honestly. But it will show its face in many different forms, whether you got the internet or not. But on the internet, social media, interactions we can see in everyday life, that element of choice is always present. And no matter what you do. Okay? Whether that's your business, your job, your family, your responsibility, school, you'll always have a choice. Should I go to this class? Okay, that's a choice. Am I going to get up and go work out? That's a choice. Am I going to get up and be mischievous? That's a choice. Am I going to get up and be deceptive? That's a choice. Am I going to get up and try to get over on people? That's a choice. It's all a choice. It always has been. And that's the only thing that separates growth or not. It's just a choice. Okay? So what is your choice? And we can see that here it says, in this story, the disruption caused by Esu does not lead to enlightenment, because that's the purpose. The disruption, Esu comes in when it's too rigid, okay? When people can't see other people's points of view, when people are stuck in their ways and just this way or the highway, Esu shows up and is like, hold up, wait a minute, you got to think about it like this, okay? And then that causes some disruption that's leading to enlightenment. And it says in this story, the disruption caused by Esu does not lead to enlightenment. Instead, it leads to an argument, loss of friendship, and poverty. Well, even in this instance, even though this page said it does not lead to enlightenment, it still does. Even though it was a loss of friendship and a loss of poverty, there is a lesson here. There is a lesson. And that lesson is perspective. Okay? People are going to have, their different viewpoints on things, how they would do it, how they would approach it. And that's a great thing, because you can learn from different people's perspectives, different people's actions, different people's lives. You can learn. It's amazing. But you can always grow, okay? And in this situation, we see it's a loss of friendship and poverty. How is that growth in any way? He lost a friend. He's in poverty. If you ask me, that's a lose-lose. And that's why there's a choice. You can choose to see it like that. Or you can choose to see it like, okay, instead of losing this, I'd have opened up a pathway to gain new opportunity, to gain new understanding. And instead of sitting here and acting like it's the end of the world as we know it, even though it might be, you're going to take the higher road. You're going to take the higher road. Okay. The point here is that nature will always respond to those who are in need of spiritual transformation, but not everyone who is blessed with instruction from Esu will grasp the meaning of the lesson that is to be learned. Within the context of Ifa, every disruption is considered an opportunity for learning and growth. Spiritual transformation always contains an element of choice. If you feel like you don't have a choice, you've given up. There's always a choice, okay? And that's what this teaches us here. So, whoever's listening, whoever's watching, hope you draw something that can, you can apply to your life, and hey, just sit there and ponder. If I said something that at least made you sit there and ponder for a little bit, I did my job. So, once again, appreciate you for watching the video. Whoever's listening, whoever's watching, have a good one. Peace.